Hi, I'm stopping over for a couple of nights at Port Sonihan Hotel and Lodges, but we've been given a wee apartment. So I'll let you have a wee look around this. It's in Argyle and Bute, and I'll go into more detail of exactly where the hotel is in the town, the wee village it's in. But we'll have a look at what it's like inside. Now it's a living room dining area, and as far as I can see, everything's looking pretty much what you would need to have for a couple of nights away. You'll see there's water on there. Now the reason for that water is because they have their own water supply, and they tell you that you shouldn't drink the water. They'll supply fresh bottled water for you, and as much as you like. So it has everything you would like to expect to find to have a couple of nights self-catering. Nice seating area there, large TV. It's basic. The furniture is probably a bit older. Decoration's a bit tired, but it's been freshened up. Can't really complain too much about that. But this is the balcony you have outside. Unbelievable, isn't it? So that's Loch Awe, and we'll talk some more about that later. I'll take you upstairs, and this is something which we weren't expecting. Let's get up there as quick as we can. It's to the bedroom. It's a double bedroom, and as you can see, it's pretty basic. It's not any great luxury, but it does what it says in the tin. I'm not so sure about the toilet seat being in the pan in the room without any sort of partition. I like my privacy going to the toilet. But this is a nice feature, isn't it? Great big bathtub there. The wife will be happy with that. And again, out the front, you've got that beautiful view all the way up Loch Awe and back down. So we're going to take a wee trip over to the hotel that owns these apartments and just see what that's like. But for now, it's clean and it looks like it could be a reasonably comfortable night here. So, speak to you later. I'm standing on the edge of the village of Port Sonihan. It's a lovely place. I'm going to take you through the road all the way down to the hotel that we're stopping over for a few days. We're in the apartments that are part of the hotel, and we'll pass by the lodges that the hotel own also. Now, there's a few videos going about of people already been in those, and you can search them out, have a look at them and see what you think of them. But we'll walk around the road and just see what there is to see. Well, this is the entrance to the village. It's stuck in a bit of time, I would say. There's a mix of old houses looking pretty run down, dilapidated, against some houses that are pretty modern. This is called the Old School, and I don't know whether it was a school, but certainly it's quite a modern building. Chalet, would you call it that? But yeah, quite smart. And then you look at this house, which is actually called the Schoolhouse Cottage, and it's like one of those temporary houses they used to do, prefab houses, what they're called, where basically they're thrown up with iron sheets and iron roof. And it's still standing, and I'm guessing someone's still living in it, so I'll not be too intrusive. Again here, another little cottage. This one here, it's actually got quite a bit of land on it. So, yeah. So in this area here, you probably would get the luxury of having more land, and as you're into your boats and things like that, then it's definitely the place to be. You're right on the waterside here. So there we go. Now, I'm going to stop for a couple of minutes because the next part of the road is quite quiet. There's not a lot to see. So I'll meet you up further down the road. Okay, just walked a short distance further down the road, and we're entering the place where, as far as I can tell, it's the Stronachan Hotel's lodges. They're probably a reasonable walk, but not too far. If you do have mobility problems though, it may be a bit of a distance to travel. If you're willing just to stay in your hotel, your lodge and not go anywhere else, then I think they'd be suited perfect for you. The scenery here is absolutely beautiful. I'll let you have a wee look at that when I get the thing turned round. Yeah, not doing too so good. There we go. That's the kind of view you have from the lodges, and the lodges are here. Varying sizes. Now, as I say, I don't know if every one of these belong to the hotel, but it's a good bet that they do. Now, there are videos online showing people stay in the hotel, the lodges, but I'm sure you'll be able to find those quite easily. Have a look at them. The outside of them looks like they're not exactly maintained too well. I think it's like lots of things. If you don't keep them up, they'll look a bit tatty, but then if it is a bit tatty, we'd expect to get a reasonable price for it if you're hiring it, and hope that everything still works inside. But that said, you know, the view that you have here is absolutely amazing. The old family down there having a picnic. Nothing better, eh? So peaceful here. Absolutely peaceful. And I would bet that those balloons there are celebrating that family's birthday or anniversary or something. There's a car passing. It's a single track road, so you obviously have to be careful, like you're not going to get run over or anything. Now, as I say, this is a mixture of tourist accommodation and people who actually live here. Oh, look at this lodge here. I mean, it does need a bit of care, doesn't it? I'm sure that with the weather being quite severe up here, I'm guessing, that they take a lot of punishment. But that glass is absolutely dirty. Not for me. Now, a past guy, this the wee house earlier on, and the wee man inside was out picking up something from his shed. And he said hello, really friendly. Lovely wee house, lovely wee cottage. The dog and its housekeeper live here. Quite funny. I hear the dog barking there. There we go. I can hear a car in the distance behind me. Oh, it went somewhere else. I don't know where the dog is, but it certainly caught the attention. It's caught me here. What's this doing? Well, I wonder what that is. Is that a hot tub or some sort of tub of pool or something? The round thing there. Not so sure. Probably a storage tank or some sort. Right, I'm going to switch off again because this part of the road is just trees, and for as much as they're nice, it's not something you want to see right this minute. So I'll get back to you. Now you don't see many telephone boxes around today. As a kid I remember getting in there and phoning friends, shall we say, girlfriends, and it used to cost 2p for however minutes you got, I can't remember. But yeah, that's what we had to do in those days. There's actually another one further up the road, and when you open the door, it's one of those honesty places where you can buy some or take some eggs. BT no longer owns this kiosk. The telephone equipment has been removed and the kiosk is owned and maintained by the local authorities. The traditional red kiosk, or K6, plays a significant part in our national heritage. The local community have chosen to retain this kiosk, thereby ensuring it can be enjoyed by generations to come. The kiosk is the property of the local community, who are now responsible for its upkeep and maintenance. In the event of a problem, please contact your local council directly. Now, I don't think there's any chance of you making a phone call from here, but it's still nice to see. Not exactly the most pleasurable of places to go for to make a phone call, but it's all we had in those days. I'm just coming into Shornican Hotel. We've been in there last night, my wife and and I had a steak, and it was absolutely beautiful. My wife had fish, but it was very undercooked. In fairness, they took it away, and they returned it properly cooked, and it was delicious. And for the inconvenience, they knocked off the price of one of the desserts. So I would say they dealt with it pretty well. Again, though, the hotel is one that's probably it's a bit tired. The staff that are there are, well, you're not getting fine dining, that's the best I can say, but they're pleasant. Check-in was absolutely brilliant, no problems. I would say that this is a budget weekend away, but we done it on a voucher package that was given to us as a present, and I've got to say that yes, it didn't cost a lot, but to come here paying the full price, I think it was something along the lines of £150, £160 a night, but unfortunately they make you stay 2 nights. I wouldn't pay that kind of money for the apartments. Don't know about the lodges, don't know what the prices are of the lodges. Seen reviews on them and I didn't think they were entirely too positive. But again, it's what you want. This scenery we get here is it's unbelievable. You know, you can't always get everything perfect. And this is a little village that's in the back of beyond. Absolutely peaceful. And that walk I just did there to the entrance of the village was something that it was just brilliant. Peace and quiet, couple of cars, no of the usual hustle and bustle that you get throughout other towns and villages, with a view like that behind me. So I'm going to walk on down the road a bit further towards where the apartments are and let you have a look at those and give you my thoughts on what I've seen round about it. Kind of really spoils what this little village has, I think. But it is a community village, and they've got to survive, and this part of the village getting tourists into the hotel is at least bringing some economy in, I think. Anyway, let's move on and see what that is. So we're on the road just at the hotel, and I walk down to the back end of the hotel where the apartments are. Now the apartments are downstairs is your living area, your kitchen area. They're well presented for everything you need to have a self-catering weekend. Bit tired in the decor, but it's been some of it's been painted up and it looks okay. Cleanliness, well, my wife's seen some mould on the bed sheets last night, and if you're overly fussy, you probably wouldn't want to stay there. But it's practical, it does everything it needs to do, and in the kitchen you've got everything you need to cook and look after yourself. Self-catering. So it can't really be shot down when you're paying very little money for it. As I said earlier on, if I was paying full value, I probably wouldn't be too happy with it. But we're here on a Sunday, and I think what's happened is most people have came on maybe a Friday and a Saturday, and they're all gone now. There's a few people still here, but not as busy. You pay for the voucher thing an extra £60 for the Friday night and the Saturday night. Sunday and through the week is just normal. Now these are the apartments that we have, and they're all named after islands. There we go. Now I was just talking to the owner there, and he was telling me that he's been here for about 12 years. And I was asking him about what it's like in the winter with the weather being, if it's snowing and what have you. But it's a single track road all the way from the main road to the little village. And he said that they don't really get affected by snow. It's part of the Gulf Stream apparently, this Loch Awe. And so it's misty but doesn't really snow. So it's a perfect place to live if you want to have some quiet and enjoy what the countryside has to offer. Now, I'm going to show you the coach houses that they have. And I haven't seen inside them, but they're across the street. And this is them there. These are the coach houses who are rented out to people similar as the self-catering lodges, I would imagine. I did see some staff getting in there, so I'm thinking that like staff may just use those. Who knows? That one looks as if it's been ready for being turned around, possibly, with the guy walking past. But disappointed in this. Now, this is their area where they take the rubbish and they put it into that big incinerator and it blows out through the top of that chimney. If you look down, you'll see all the rubbish and what have you there. Not a very grand sight if you're arriving here. Now, I know this is out of season, but surely that doesn't happen all year round. So again, you've got a situation where you've got a nice holiday apartment situation, but the outside, the grounds is needing a little bit of care and attention. That van that's sitting there, to me it doesn't look like it's moved in many a time, many a year. Grass grown underneath the wheels and what have you. So to summarise, I would say that for the money we paid, it's been a very nice breakaway. The self-catering lodges, apartments are pretty usable. If you've been fussy, you probably wouldn't stay there. Make do with what you have and look at the scenery around you. The hotel food I thought was quite good. Price-wise, yeah, but I would say it's probably reasonable. It's not a fancy wining and dining establishment. Didn't see the rooms inside the hotel, so I don't know how good they are. But the hotel seemed to be reasonably busy last night for being out of season, as did the apartments. So I would say that I would definitely return. But when I look at the prices online of what you have to pay, and the fact that they look for you to pay for 2 nights, I would struggle to pay that money for it. And that's the prices as of now. So I'm sure they go up as you get into the summer season. Yes, I would return, but it would be only on the fact that the price would be right. Hope you can tell me what you think about it. If you've been here before, let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this little video, just like and subscribe. That's what everybody says, isn't it? Anyway, you know what to do. Nice talking to you. Speak to you later.